All right, let's make a stamp brush in Procreate. So I'm in Procreate's gallery view right now, and the first thing you need to do to make a new stamp brush is create a square canvas. You can have your canvas be any size, but I'm going to go ahead and tap this plus sign right here, and I'm going to create a new canvas that's 3000 by 3000 pixels, and then I'm going to tap Create. Now that we have a square canvas, we're going to need a brush to draw our shape source. So I'm going to go to the brushes library and I'm going to scroll down until I see the inking set. And then I'm going to choose the dry ink brush. And if you don't have a pure black color selected already, you're going to want to go ahead and select a pure black color. And now I'm going to draw my shape source. So this is the shape I want my stamp to be. And then I'm going to use color fill to go ahead and fill this with color. If you want to refine your shape in any way, you can go ahead and tap and hold on the eraser tool, and that will recall the last brush that you were using. And then you can erase with it. So I'm just going to erase away the center of this shape right here. Okay, so that is my shape source, and now I'm going to use the transform tool, this arrow right up here, to center this flower in the middle of my canvas. Now I'm going to use 3 fingers to swipe down to enable the copy paste menu, and I'm going to choose copy all. This will copy everything that's on my canvas. So tap copy all, and then we're going to tap on the brush library again, and scroll up to the top until you see this blue plus sign. Tap that, and it will create a new brush set for you. I'm going to call mine stamp brushes, but you can call yours whatever you want. Once you've named your brush library, tap on the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner. This will jump you into Procreate's Brush Studio. So there's a lot that goes on here, but for now we're only going to focus on a few settings to make our brush behave the way that we want it to. The first one, I'm going to go to the Shape tab, and I'm going to edit my shape source. So I'm going to tap Edit, Import, and Paste. And this will paste in the shape that I drew. The only thing is I need to invert it. So I'm going to go ahead and tap with 2 fingers. So the background is black and the shape that we want to be our stamp is white. So essentially how stamps work is everything that's in black will be transparent and everything that's in white will be opaque and show up. Tap Done to lock in these preferences. And you can see I have a nice big squiggle over here in my drawing pad. And essentially a stamp brush, or any digital brush, is a series of stamps stacked on top of each other. And these settings dictate how those stamps behave. So I'm going to change some settings. I'm going to go up to the stroke path, and I'm going to drag the spacing all the way up. And immediately you can see that I now have a bunch of little flowers. But the problem is some are more transparent and some are more opaque, and we don't want that. So the next setting I'm going to have you change is to go down to the Apple Pencil tab. And on that, you're going to take the opacity slider and you're going to drag it all the way down. And immediately you'll see that all these little flowers are now pure white, which means they are fully opaque. The next settings are in the Properties tab. Toggle on Stamp Preview. And I'll tell you what this does when we get back into the brush library, but for now just know that you're going to want to have that toggled on. I'm going to change the minimum size because as you can see my stamps are very small, so the minimum size is as small as the brush can go. And I'm going to set mine at about 12%, and I'm going to change the maximum size. I'm just going to make it all the way big. So now my drawing pad is filled with just white, and that's fine for now, but if you want to clear it, you can tap on Drawing Pad, Clear Drawing Pad, and then you can restamp to get a preview of your brush. There's one more change that you need to make in the Brush Properties panel, and that's to drag the preview size down a little bit. I'm going to drag mine to about 10%. but I'll show you what that does again when we get back into the library view. Okay, now that we've made a few changes to our brush settings, the last thing that you need to do is go to the About This Brush tab. And in here, you can tap right up here into this text box and give your brush a name. When I name my brushes, I don't like to type using the keyboard or using the scribble feature. I like to tap this little arrow down here and just rename my brush by talking. So once I tap this microphone icon, it will type out what I say. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say flower brush, and it will type it out for me, and then I'm gonna go ahead and hit done. In this tab, you can also add a photo if you want. You can write in your name, who it's made by, and you can do a little signature. The last thing that you'll need to do is lock all these settings that you just made into place by tapping Create New Reset Point and then Save. This just means if you make another brush and you duplicate the settings and you eventually want to get back to the original settings, you can always reset the brush to go back to your original settings. So now I'm all done. I'm going to go ahead and tap Done. Let's turn off this layer that we drew our shape source on and create a new layer. And now we can test out our brush. And you can see we have an awesome stamp brush. And if you orient your screen by rotating it, you'll see that your stamp brush always stays in line with the top and bottom of your iPad screen. Another little tip, if you are an Apple Pencil Pro user, there's one more setting that I want to tell you about that can just enhance your user experience a little bit. Tap on the brush icon to open the brush library, and tap on your flower brush to pull up the Brush Studio again. So if you go to the Shape tab where we imported our shape, you'll see the input style. There's touch only, azimuth, and barrel roll. If you have an Apple Pencil Pro, then you have barrel roll. So go ahead and choose the option that says azimuth and barrel roll, and then tap Done. Now, when you tap, you'll see that your shape source can rotate around if you rotate your Apple Pencil. Then you can just make a ton of stamps without having to move your canvas, and all you need to do is move your Apple Pencil. So that's pretty cool. If you want to make another brush, there's no need to go and repeat all the steps we just did. Basically, all you need to do is go back to your inking brush that you can find in the Recents tab, draw a new shape source. I'm going to draw a circle. I'm going to tap and hold on the eraser to recall my last brush, and I'm going to erase away two little eyes. To wipe down with 3 fingers to enact the copy and paste menu, tap Copy All, and then I have a new shape source. So I'm going to go to my brush library, and I'm going to swipe to the left on my brush and choose Duplicate. And this will make me another brush. Tap on that brush to get into the Brush Studio one more time, go to Shape Source, tap Edit, Import, and Paste. And there you have your new shape. You don't even need to tap with 2 fingers to invert it. Just tap Done, and it saves all of the settings that you had for the previous brush for this brush. Tap Done again, turn off that layer and make a new layer, and now you have made 2 stamp brushes. I hope this video was helpful for you and you make a ton of stamps. If you want to know what you can do with your stamps that you've made, I have this really cool video here where I show you a lot of the stamp art that I've created, and I share some tips and techniques and tricks for how you can have a lot of fun making stamp art. You can go ahead and check that video out right up here. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Oh yeah, one more thing. I totally forgot to go back and tell you what toggling on the stamp preview does and adjusting the size. So if you tap on your brush library, you'll see that you have your 2 brushes. And that preview inside there, that is what the stamp preview looks like. If you didn't toggle it on, let's go ahead and go into our Brush Studio and go to the Properties tab and toggle it off just so I can show you what it does. Hit Done. Now you can see it has like a line because it's showing you a swoosh or a swoop of your brush. And that's why you want to have it toggled on. And if you had the size really, really big, like 40 4%, then your stamp preview would be massive. So you're going to want to make sure your stamp preview is toggled on, and your size, it's relative to your stamp, but I'm going to go ahead and leave mine at 10% so I can see what stamp it is in my little preview menu. Okay, that's all. Have a good one. Bye.